everyone, welcome back. And yes, it's time for another toy review. I know technically I've been doing them every week now, but the other ones have been non-Gargoyles related. So this is finally another Gargoyles related toy review. And as much as I am kind of sad that I don't have any more Gargoyles to review, I'm kind of happy that I've, finally it's a new kind of figure. And obviously y'all clicked here because, I mean, the thumbnail tells you who I'm going to review. And it's finally time for Elisa. And yes, as you can see, the sticker's there. She comes with Brooklyn's cloaked wings. So they're probably going to be the same type as Goliath's were. This is the first figure I'm opening that has somebody else's cloaked wings. So I'm actually really excited about that. And, she's sealed. She is sealed in the box. I will never get these camera angles going. I'm a little worried about the face there because I had such great luck with Angela. So I'm hoping Elisa doesn't suffer the same fate. And of course, there's the seal on the sticker. She's never been opened. It's not like with the tails, with the Gargoyles, you could see that nothing had been moved. There's nothing really here, that says, oh, Desi definitely didn't open this before, other than the, the plastic straps, really. But no, brand spanking new as always. So I'm going to get to opening her up. Hopefully she's easier to get out of the package than everyone else was. And I'll come back with the review. And back, she is out of the package. Only slightly easier to get out of the package versus the Gargoyles. But the upside is like no wings to have to take out of that plastic and tails and have to plug them into finally I don't have to cry about wings on a figure. This is great. I will say though, it's a little weird. She moves fine, beautifully. The joints are fantastic on her, no complaints. I'm just wondering why, considering if first of all, my reviews have shown it, and if you have one yourself, the joints have always been like, well, it's mostly been the wings, but kind of like stiff on some of them. Some her joints are beautiful. No cracking, no being afraid to move anything. Her joints are fantastic. Like, absolutely no complaints. None there. Nice bendability. This is going to be a thing I apparently do now. I did it with Soundwave already, but just beautiful. And finally, like a proper range with her head, because there aren't wings in the way. That's how they're supposed to move, NECA. Even with hair, that it is the stiff plastic. There's some bendability at the ends. I'm really hoping that the red spots that I can see in her hair are purposely there and not like scratched paint. NECA could go either way, but otherwise beautiful figure, very close to being on model. I won't complain about the slight, differences. Very, very close to being on model there. But yes, the joints move beautifully. It's a breath of fresh air. Let's put it that way. It's nice to, not worry about breaking a figure, which worries me about the Steel Clan and Xanatos in his suit, in his Steel Clan suit. Oh God, I'm gonna be terrified of those, aren't I? Anyway, to move on, she does come with an extra head, of course, with her flowing hair, and I have a feeling they may be scratches on the hair because the red highlights aren't here. There's one spot, so I have a feeling it might be unfinished paint, whatever, but it is what it is. I expect it from NECA. But yes, beautifully done style there. And then also an extra face. I'm tempted to try and change her face to see what will happen. I'm terrified to do it. I'm terrified to do it. But we'll go from there. Of course, as always, her accessories. They did a pretty, there's not much, again, that you can give Elisa in terms of, hey, this was a big thing in the show, so we, made sure to give her this, in toy form. Just the regular old hands. You know, she's got her closed fists on the figure. She has open hands. She does have, yes, the gun hand, which if I can, does have, you know, finger on the trigger. Of course, they didn't give her one, which, considering these aren't aimed at kids, I'm very confused as to why they didn't give her her gun. These aren't toys for kids. She, of course, comes with her flashlight that, yes, we do see in Awakening, and, of course, her badge. Very tiny, very cute. And you can't really have Elisa without a Cagney. I'm really glad they, you know, they tossed in Cagney for this. Although I don't know why I saw it in the package like this, so I took it out like this, and I'm like, have the people at NECA never seen a cat before? Because it just looks very awkward. But when you turn the head, Cagney looks more cat-like, thankfully. Actually, with the no neck kind of reminds me of my cat. But yeah, it's just slightly odd sculpting there. But I'll take it. It's a minor thing. It was just very... It's not just me, right? It does look weird at that angle. Anyway, so I'm going to attempt to change her face. Because you know what? That's part of the review. If she comes with, you know, the removable hair, which is nice, and the changeable face, you know, you kind of gotta. Otherwise, it's not a true review, right? It's like, oh yeah, here's their head, but I'm not going to explain to you how easy or difficult it was to actually get it on and change it all. Like I did it with X, so... Okay, so first of all, new face is on. I will mention that getting her head back on, not the easiest thing. So you do have to apply a little bit of force. So I know that's going to be scary considering it's a NECA figure, but a little force is required. And then you have to plug her hair in. Okay, and there we go. New face. I don't think her head is quite... it's on enough that it'll stay on. Decent enough that took me maybe a minute, and then most of that time was trying to force the head back on. So I can't complain there. I really can't. And also, as I was trying to put that on, I didn't realize I had squeezed her legs together, and that's cute. She has enough posability that she can actually cross her legs like that. Yay, NECA. Now here, I can't do this on camera, unfortunately. Hold on, let me grab a box. Okay, so I grabbed, you know, a box that I had nearby. If you collect, you probably know. But you guys need to be able to see. She stands. So, you know what, NECA? I can give you back some points. I can give you back some... She's standing. I have nothing there. I obviously can't pick her up and show... Oh, wow. That's more of a me because obviously she's standing on a box. Not bad. So this is the type where NECA excels. This type of figure where it's just, you know, human-shaped, human form with nothing extra. This might be where they stand out. They had to be good at something, right? No, I kid. NECA does good stuff. They need to do better. They need to do better. As always, you know, the paint job looks like a couple, you know, I think that's might be purposely trying to like distress the jeans and everything, but very nice paint job on the jacket and the pants and the boots, you know, great. Oh, like I said, her head wasn't quite on, but better way to see the back of her jacket. Back of the pants and everything. So they did a wonderful job on painting her and everything. I love the little silver details on the coat and everything. Beautiful job. So yes, as I said, takes effort to actually get... I picked up the wrong head, but there we go. I didn't even... Take some effort to get the head on, but there we go with the hair blowing in the wind hair. Very beautiful. Love it. I do love the ankle tilts on here where she can actually like I don't know anyone who's going to do this, but she can toes inward. NECA, you do good when you want to. I have no complaints about this figure. None. I'm so happy with her. Like, this is fantastic. I will knock off points, though, for not giving her a gun. Luckily, there is someone, I saw them in some of the Gargoyles groups. They were 3D printing guns. So there's an option. If you find figures the same size as her, and they have guns, you can take them off of them and give them to her. It won't be her exact gun in that sense, but at least she'll have one, you know. And so but yeah, I have no complaints. The face paint on her is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful. There's not a lot to say because they did so well on her. Angela was such a long video because there was so much wrong with her. Everything's done so right, but no, I wasn't coming back with something bad. Gotta still review the wings. There are the pegs where the wings will plug into his back, and as I said, they are the bendy plastic, you know, the type they could have used for the hair in so many of them. But yeah, bendy plastic, so he's gonna look fantastic. I mean, is it a fully true or truly full, one of those, review if the part that comes from another figure isn't tested out? So obviously you have to pop off his head to kind of get the wings on, which is fine, so long as you actually pop the head on properly. That's why his sunglasses are now. But as you can see, they kind of curve at the bottom, which I don't know why this wing popping out so much, but when he stands, you know, the wings won't get in the way. Apparently, looks like I'm probably gonna have to smack the mic, but it looks like I'm gonna have to take a blow dryer ever so slightly because they're just slightly too fanned out that it looks weird. It made sense if, you know, the wings touch the floor, as it were, the table, the desk, you know what I mean. But it looks weird. He's standing there and they just kind of turn up at random. They should not turn up until they touch where his feet touch. You know what I mean? So a little weird on that, easy enough fix. But they do look good on him. You know, it could just be mine, but a heads up in case you haven't picked up a Brooklyn. I believe he's also one of the ones popping up for cheap at Ross and Walmart. When you peg in his wings, luckily they can. You need to stretch it out on one side ever so slightly and just get the angle right to pop it in. It'll pop in easy enough. But yeah, I just noticed that where you just had to stretch it just ever so slightly. Yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? He looks good. NECA, how did you screw that up too? No, it's not a screw up. It's not. And of course, the downside of the caped wings is that they can't really move their arms forward as much because right there, it's holding the arms back. So they can't be as posable, which kind of sucks. It is what it is. Hence, this is why people just wanted the open, relaxed wings. Caped ones are beautiful. Thank you, NECA, for giving us caped wings, but open and relaxed. So that way they still have all that posability and they don't take up all the shelf space. You know, I guess we were asking for too much. Maybe this is why the line died, because we saw what NECA was doing. But anyways, great to have him with his caped wings now. And as for Elisa, I know she is one of the harder figures to find right now, her along with Lexington. It looks like they were the short-packed ones. Because Elisa would have been one of the more popular ones to pick up. If you get in a Goliath, you have to get an Elisa. It's that sort of thing. So I guess she was short-packed or something. They didn't think that she would do well because human and not gargoyle. I don't know what NECA did. It could be that there are a bunch of Elisa figures sitting in a warehouse and they're going to end up at Ross and Walmart eventually. So please, I will put out this reminder, if there is a Lexington or Elisa missing from your collection, Please be patient, please, because first of all, if they're not at Walmart and Ross right now, there's no chance of you like losing out. Like if you didn't buy them at first, you know, essentially it's right now, it's just be patient and wait, because I am already seeing people paying $200 plus American to pick up a Lexington, to pick up an Elisa. Guys, they are NECA figures. I get that we're in short supply somehow. And I don't want people to be breaking their bank accounts trying to get these, you know, figures that they never got, you know, to buy in the first place, because they showed up in stores or they showed up on these online retailers and they never went on sale. People bought them, you know, because it was like, oh, need to collect them. They sold out. Maybe they came back in stock once and then they didn't come back in stock again. So they never went on sale because they were that popular. Be patient. Be patient. It's a great figure. She's not worth $200. I will say that. Same with Lexington. Not a $200 figure, so please. Anyway, fantastic, fantastic figure. No complaints, none. Other than, I'm sure it's me. Yeah, it's just me. I'm not Brooklyn's head was easier to get on despite the fact that it fell off. A little bit of force. That's it. And that's usually the case with the heads anyway. And it would help if I put the right hand on the right arm. Very easy to switch out the hands. Delightful. Just really easy, really simple. NECA, why couldn't you make more of them like this? It wasn't so different. It wasn't so... I know it's a balancing thing. Wings, no wing. I get that. But anyway, if you do happen to come across an Elisa figure for a under $100, pick her up. But do not spend more than $100. Do not. Please. It's a great figure. You can wait until the price goes down. I promise you. But she is a good figure if you manage to find her. And go to like the small conventions. Like people sell their stuff for cheap, especially if it's just not a store selling them. I promise. So with that, guys, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, be the good that you want to see in the world. Don't hate your wallets. It's a great figure, but patience. And I will see you all in the next one. And until then, bye. Okay, the last thing got a little exorcist going on over here. Not good with head.